Hi, I'm Krista, the Curator of Education at the Illinois State Museum Dixon Mounds. And today I am here with our Curator of Anthropology, Logan Pappenfort, who is going to share information on Indigenous toolmaking. Hi, Logan.
Hello, everyone. And today we're going to be talking about Indigenous toolmaking and technology. And you might notice some noises in the background, and those are to simulate toolmaking in a natural setting. So when we're talking about tools made by Native people, there are various different kinds, whether they be stone, bone, or made out of clay. And so these tools vary wildly based on their use. For example, in a stone tool, you might have what we commonly think about, which is an arrowhead, or as archaeologists call them, a biface, to what we call a chert or stone hoe, which would be used for agriculture. And so you see these tools are wildly different based on their proposed use. And so when we are looking at these items, it's archaeologists' job to discern what they're used for and how they're made. And one of the ways that we can tell that stone tools were made is by using essentially a large nodule of chert and then reducing that down to make the lithic points, which lithic being stone, points that we see. And so in this image behind me, you can see what looks like a very rudimentary base, what we call a flake or a piece of stone being refined into that arrowhead. However, when we're talking about tools, we're not just talking about stone tools, we're also talking about bone tools. So with bone tools, bones come in a variety of shapes and sizes, so they also vary wildly. But one of the most common ones we see is called a bone awl. And awls are made by using a sandstone abrader, which is a piece of sandstone with a groove in it, that then you can run that bone through and sharpen it. And it is sharpened in a way so that it can be used to puncture hides or other material. We see things like this in the archaeological record all the time. But when archaeologists come across these at a site, it looks very different than how it might look in a museum setting. When archaeologists come across a site, it is layered out in what we call stratigraphy, which is used to help us ascertain temporality or the time that that object is from. And so the general rule of thumb is the higher something is in the ground, the more recent it is. And the lower it is, the older it is. But you have to keep in mind when you're looking at these archaeological sites, there's also a lot that we aren't seeing. For example, when you have a spear, you have the shaft, the haft, and the spear point. But when archaeologists find that in the archaeological record, they are missing the shaft as well as the haft, but the point remains intact. And so archaeologists are putting together a puzzle with 75% of those puzzle pieces missing. And in the end of the day, that is the joy as well as the challenge of archaeology.
Thank you, Logan, for sharing that information. And thank you for joining us today.